What if I told you the real reason your erections have faded isn't age, it's dinner? That's right. The food you eat before bed may be quietly shutting down the exact system responsible for your intimacy, confidence, and morning vitality. But tonight, that changes. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 7 powerful nighttime foods, natural, affordable, and scientifically backed, that can reignite your intimate circulation in as little as 72 hours without a single pill or painful procedure. I'm Dr. James, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping men over 60 reclaim their energy, their performance, and their dignity. And I've found one thing to be true. You don't need more medication. You need better information and better habits, especially when it comes to what you eat after 8 p.m. Because here's the strange truth most men never hear. Your body is designed to repair, rebuild, and restore your blood vessels and testosterone naturally while you sleep, but only if you feed it the right way. And most men, they do the exact opposite without knowing it. That's why they wake up drained, soft, and ashamed. But the right nighttime foods, including things like dark chocolate, watermelon seeds, pomegranate juice, honey with ginger, and specific raw nuts, can support nitric oxide production, repair damaged arteries, and help your body perform the way it was built to. And by the end of this video, I'll share my exact nighttime elixir recipe that combines all 7 into one easy drink. So stay with me because your breakthrough might begin tonight. Before we get started, if you're serious about restoring your circulation and reclaiming your vitality, make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss another natural health tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if you're ready to take action tonight, type 1 in the comments. If you feel this isn't for you, type 0. Your feedback helps me create even better content tailored to your needs. All right, let's begin with the first nighttime food. And trust me, this one surprises almost every man I work with. Because who would have thought that something as simple and as delicious as dark chocolate could be the key to unlocking better blood flow while you sleep? But the science behind it is real, and the effects can be felt in just a few nights. Let me explain why. 1. Raw cacao or 85% plus dark chocolate, the nighttime nitric oxide booster. I still remember the look on one of my patients' faces, a 67-year-old man who sat across from me, frustrated, exhausted, and convinced his best days were behind him. When I told him to start eating dark chocolate before bed, he thought I was joking. But after just 4 nights, he came back with a spark in his eyes and said, "Doc, I actually woke up with energy and something else I hadn't felt in years." Now, this isn't about candy bars or sugar-laden chocolate. This is about raw cacao or high-quality dark chocolate with at least 85% cacao content. It contains a powerful compound called theobromine, which works like a natural vasodilator. That means it gently opens up your blood vessels and increases blood flow. Not with a sudden jolt like caffeine, but with a steady, relaxing effect that lasts all night. More importantly, dark chocolate boosts your body's production of nitric oxide, the same compound pharmaceutical pills try to mimic. But instead of forcing your body to perform, cacao works with your natural systems, enhancing blood flow gradually while you sleep. It's rich in flavonoids, magnesium, and antioxidants, all of which contribute to better vascular health and deeper, more restorative rest. The best way to take it? Melt 1 tablespoon of raw cacao powder into warm almond milk with a teaspoon of raw honey. Sip it slowly about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. You'll relax, your vessels will open, and your body will begin priming itself for the repair work it needs to do overnight. It's a simple ritual with powerful results, and it's just the beginning. Because the next food I'll share isn't something sweet, it's something most men have been throwing away their entire lives. And it holds one of nature's most concentrated sources of circulation support. Let's talk about that next. 2. Roasted or ground watermelon seeds, the citrulline secret. Most men don't know this, but for decades they've been throwing away one of the most potent circulation-boosting foods on the planet, watermelon seeds. I'll never forget a soft-spoken gentleman in his early 60s who came into my clinic, eyes down, voice quiet. He'd tried pills, pumps, even injections. Nothing gave him lasting results. I told him to try something different, something ancient, watermelon seeds. 2 weeks later, he looked like a new man. His energy had returned, his posture changed, and his wife even sent me a thank you note. The magic of watermelon seeds lies in a compound called L-citrulline, which your body converts into arginine and then into nitric oxide, the very substance that helps your blood vessels relax and open up. But unlike quick-fix medications, this process happens in perfect rhythm with your natural repair cycle during sleep. When taken at night, citrulline works with your body, not against it, helping restore the very foundation of masculine blood flow. But there's a catch. Your body can't absorb raw seeds easily. That's why I always recommend roasting them lightly or grinding them into a powder. Once prepared, you can stir them into warm milk or a gentle nighttime tea. 1 tablespoon a night is often all it takes to kickstart your circulatory recovery. These seeds have been revered for centuries in traditional medicine across Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. And now science is finally catching up to what our ancestors already knew. The seed holds the life force. It's a quiet powerhouse working with your hormones, your vessels, your entire masculine system while you sleep. Now, if that surprises you, wait until you hear about the next one. It's bold, it's deep red, and it's been called nature's Viagra by researchers for a reason. Let's dive into what pomegranate juice can do for your intimate health. 3. Pure pomegranate juice, the vascular repair crew. Let me tell you about a man named Richard, 61 years old, divorced, worn down, and convinced he was too far gone. When he came to see me, his blood pressure was unstable, his energy was flat, and intimacy had become a distant memory. He looked at me and said, "Dr. James, I just want to feel like a man again." I handed him a simple glass bottle filled with deep red liquid and said, "Drink 6 ounces of this every night before bed, for 3 weeks, nothing else." That liquid? Pure pomegranate juice. What makes pomegranate juice so powerful isn't just its antioxidant content. It's the specific compounds inside, like punicalagins and ellagic acid, that actually target and repair damaged blood vessels, especially the tiny ones involved in intimate circulation. When you drink it at night, during the body's natural repair window between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., you're essentially sending a cleanup crew into your vascular system to clear out years of buildup and stiffness. And it doesn't just help blood flow. It supports testosterone production, lowers inflammation, and may even enhance nitric oxide levels, all while you sleep. The key is timing and purity. Most store-bought pomegranate juice is pasteurized and full of sugar, which ruins its benefits. What you want is 100% pure, organic, unsweetened juice, nothing else. Drink it slowly, ideally 45 minutes before bed, and let your body absorb its healing compounds while you drift off. Men who stay consistent with this simple nightly habit often report better sleep, stronger mornings, and a renewed sense of vitality within just a few weeks. And if you think this juice is powerful, wait until you experience what happens when you pair it with 2 of the oldest healing ingredients known to man, raw honey and fresh ginger. What they do together might just change the way you think about nighttime nutrition forever. 4. Raw honey plus ginger, the hormone and blood flow combo. There's something deeply comforting about honey and ginger. Maybe it's because both have been used for thousands of years, not just in medicine, but in rituals of strength, healing, and masculine renewal. I remember one man in his late 50s, a former Marine, who told me he didn't believe in old wives' remedies. But his frustration was clear. He was waking up tired, disconnected from his body, and struggling to perform. I asked him to give me 30 nights, 1 tablespoon of raw honey, half a teaspoon of fresh grated ginger, mixed into warm, not hot, water. He agreed. By the 3rd week, he called me and said, "Doc, I wake up now with something I haven't felt in 15 years, and I sleep like a rock." The truth is, this combination is far more than an old tradition. Raw honey is rich in boron, a trace mineral that supports testosterone production, especially during deep sleep. It also contains chrysin, a natural compound that helps preserve the testosterone your body already makes. Meanwhile, ginger is packed with gingerol and shogal, two compounds that promote blood flow by gently relaxing the smooth muscles around your blood vessels. But what makes this duo powerful isn't just what they do individually, it's how they work together. The honey delivers steady, natural sugars to fuel your brain through the night, while the ginger ensures your circulatory system stays open, responsive, and engaged. It's like giving your body exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it, so by morning you feel not just rested, but reawakened. This simple drink, taken 30 to 45 minutes before bed, has helped hundreds of my patients regain their confidence and connection. And what's coming next builds on this power even further, because we're moving from herbs and roots into the world of nuts. And one in particular holds more arginine, the raw fuel of nitric oxide, than any other. Let's keep going. 5. Pistachios, the arginine arsenal. Of all the foods I recommend for men over 60, this one always raises eyebrows. Pistachios? Really? Yes, really. And I'll never forget the 64-year-old man who came into my office looking completely worn down. He'd tried medication, supplements, even considered surgery, but nothing helped. I asked him to do one simple thing for 30 days, eat a small handful of raw, unsalted pistachios before bed. Not mixed in trail mix, not with dessert, just plain, clean pistachios, about 15 to 20 of them. He followed through. When he returned weeks later, he looked like a different man. His eyes were brighter, his voice stronger. He said, "Doc, for the first time in years, I feel like myself again." The secret behind pistachios lies in their incredible concentration of arginine, an amino acid that acts as the direct precursor to nitric oxide. That means pistachios don't just support blood flow, they fuel the very process your body uses to open blood vessels. Combine that with their rich supply of vitamin E and healthy fats, and you've got a food that not only activates circulation, but also protects the arteries from damage and stiffness. Taken before bed, pistachios give your body the raw material it needs during its most important repair window. As you sleep, your hormones surge, your tissues rebuild, and the arginine gets to work, gently restoring the intimate flow you thought was lost. The key again is to eat them plain. No salt, no sugar, no additives, just real whole pistachios, consumed 45 minutes before sleep. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Because when you pair pistachios with one very specific nut, one loaded with plant-based omega-3s, you create a synergy that doesn't just improve blood flow, but actively helps rebuild your hormonal foundation. Let's explore that next. 6. Walnuts, the testosterone tree nut. There's something humbling about the walnut. It doesn't look flashy. It's not trendy. But inside that wrinkled shell is one of nature's most powerful tools for restoring male vitality, especially after 60. I remember a man named Harold, 70 years old, who told me, "Dr. James, I don't want miracles, I just want to feel like a man again." He'd given up on synthetic testosterone and had nearly given up on himself. I asked him to try something simple, 4 or 5 raw walnut halves before bed. Nothing fancy, just a habit. 1 month later, his voice had more weight to it. His handshake was stronger. His wife, she was smiling a lot more. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that's critical for hormone production and arterial health. Most men don't realize that without the right fats, your body can't build testosterone efficiently. And as testosterone falls, so does blood flow, energy, mood, and confidence. Walnuts also contain magnesium, zinc, and selenium, the very micronutrients your body relies on to regulate hormones and maintain the elasticity of your blood vessels. When you eat them before bed, these nutrients work in sync with your circadian rhythm. Your testosterone naturally surges during deep sleep, usually between midnight and 4 a.m. Walnuts don't force this, they support it. They help your body do what it's supposed to do, just a little more effectively and a little more consistently. And when combined with pistachios, the effects can be remarkable. You're fueling nitric oxide with arginine from the pistachios, while the walnuts nourish your hormonal machinery and keep your arteries flexible. It's a powerful nighttime duo that works silently while you sleep. But now it's time to bring everything together, because what I'm about to share next is the real secret, the drink I've given to hundreds of men who felt hopeless. The one nighttime ritual that combines all 6 ingredients into one powerful, life-changing elixir. Let's make it together. 7. The Bedtime Elixir. Circulation in a cup. Over the years, I've tested hundreds of remedies, routines, and rituals with my older male patients. But the one that continues to deliver consistent, life-changing results is what I now call my nighttime circulation elixir. It's simple, it's natural, and it's built entirely from the foods we've already talked about. And when you combine them in just the right way, at just the right time, you create something far more powerful than the sum of its parts. You create a healing system that works with your body, not against it. I remember one man in particular, George, 67, recently retired and deeply discouraged. He had stopped trying. His relationship was distant, his mornings were dull, and his confidence was fading. I handed him this recipe and said, "Make this every night, no excuses, give it 2 weeks." 3 weeks later, George came back standing taller, smiling wider. He said, "Doc, I didn't think this kind of change was possible at my age." Here's how it works. Start with 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice, no sugar added. Stir in 1 tablespoon of raw honey, half a teaspoon of grated ginger, and 1 teaspoon of raw cacao powder. Then crush 3 to 4 pistachios and 2 walnut halves and mix them right into the drink. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Then, drink it slowly, about 45 minutes before bed. What happens next is something I've seen over and over. Blood vessels begin to soften and open. Hormones reset. Circulation improves. You sleep deeper. You wake up feeling younger, more alive. And if you're consistent, the improvements don't just stay, they build. Now, if you've made it this far, you're not just curious, you're committed. And what I want to leave you with in the final moments of this video isn't just science, it's hope. Because in the conclusion, I'm going to remind you of something far more important than any single food, and it might be the message you've needed to hear for years. Conclusion: reclaiming what was always yours. If there's one thing I've learned in over 3 decades of working with men over 60, it's this: you are not broken. You may feel like something's been lost along the way, like your strength has faded or your identity has slipped into the background. But the truth is that fire inside you, it never left. It's simply waiting to be reignited. Each of these 7 nighttime foods we've talked about, raw cacao, watermelon seeds, pomegranate juice, honey, ginger, pistachios, and walnuts, aren't magic. They're not a miracle cure, but they work with your body's natural rhythms, giving you exactly what you need when you need it to rebuild the foundation of your masculine vitality. They support nitric oxide, they nourish your hormones, they repair your blood vessels, and most importantly, they do it gently, consistently, and naturally while you sleep. I've watched men come back from hopelessness. I've seen marriages renewed, confidence restored, and men stand taller, not because of pills or procedures, but because they chose to give their body the right tools at the right time. And now you have those tools. The choice is yours. Will you keep waking up tired, discouraged, and disconnected? Or will tonight be the first night you take that quiet, powerful step back toward the man you were always meant to be? You've got this, and I'm here with you every step of the way.